I'm working on my composting toilet system. It's been working out all right. I have two buckets. A top bucket that has holes in it, where the poop sits on top, and then the urine goes down. That works perfectly fine. You can't screw that part up. And then the bottom bucket, where the urine's supposed to go. And then from there, it's supposed to drain out the hole and into the black water holding tank. My problem is that I didn't have that hole deep enough, so there was urine that was sitting in the bucket. You'd think that the poop is what smells. It's not. It's the urine. So if you got pee sitting in a bucket for a little period of time, that starts to smell. It takes a little while, and it's not something that's going to add up in a day. But after about, I've been trying this. I've been using the bucket even though I don't really have to. After about a week, it starts smelling pretty bad. I imagine it depends on the weather too. Once it gets warmer, it probably is worse. So what I'm trying to do is add caulk to the bottom of the bucket and kind of shape it so that it drains towards the hole. I'm not doing a super job with that right now. But I don't think it has to look too pretty. It just has to drain out a little bit more urine than what it was. The caulk was much easier to work with after it dried off for a little bit, about an hour. Then I was just able to use my hands to shape it into what I wanted it to be. To eliminate some of the smell coming from the toilet, I could have somewhat easily installed a 12-volt fan in the area and vented out the side of the camper. I didn't want the wasted energy or the extra hole in the camper. While I waited for the caulk to harden completely, I took time to work on another plumbing issue. I was pretty happy when I got this camper and most of the components were working on it, or all the components of the camper were working. The air conditioner, the furnace, the refrigerator, and the water pump. I was really happy that the water pump was working. Not that I really will need it too much, but these things are kind of expensive. Like these SHURflo water pumps can be about, $100-$150. This one is 2.3 gallons per minute. So it's got a pretty good, decent flow to it. It still pumps perfectly fine, but it does leak. And that's not so cool, because actually the water was sitting in the back, in the front of the camper. It's situated and it's underneath the bench. And I didn't really realize that it was leaking. So it leaked through onto the floor and actually to the underside of the camper. That can cause some rot pretty quick. I caught it in time where I don't think it's going to do any major damage, but definitely want to take care of this water pump if I'm going to be using it. So you can see the seams, maybe. The seams where the water's coming out. I was going to take this off. As you can see, I'm struggling with that a little bit. Maybe I'll just put some JB Weld right on those seams. Clean it up a little bit. JB Weld. It's got maximum control super gel. Strength up to 3,000 psi. I think that will be able to handle the 2.3 gallons per minute pump. Plastics, leather, rubber, glass, metal, wood, and more. Yeah, I'll squirt some of that right on those seams that are cleaned up a little bit better now. Let it dry and see if that stops the leak. I'll let that dry up. I'm not sure if it's going to stop the leak. One thing I do know for sure is it does not stop the mosquitoes. So yeah, I'll let that dry up there and give it a try. And I don't know how many hours. Probably says that it's good in 15 minutes. Whoa, full cure 24 hours. We'll wait a day. I have the pump hooked up to a hose, and I see that I may have put the JB Weld in the wrong spot. There's water that's coming out from where this screw head is here, and there's a little groove here that appears like water's coming out there too. So I'll get that screw head off, put some JB Weld in that area too. The rest is holding. I simply backed the screw out a few turns and squirted some JB Weld on the threads before screwing it back in. My guess is that if you see rusted screw heads on the pump, this could be a spot where water is coming out. So it may be leaking from my hose connection here, which is, I guess, just I didn't screw this on tight enough. But it is not, the pump itself does not appear to be leaking anymore. Rejoice! Alright, there we are. After a couple days of drying, the caulk is fairly solid on the bottom. It's funneled nicely to let the urine go out. And I think that's going to help eliminate a lot of the smell in this, what we will call kind of a composting toilet. Yeah, the idea again, you do your business on the top. Through the power of gravity, the liquids go through the hole and then come out. Well, it's making me have to go to the bathroom. Now for this top portion, when you have to get rid of the solids, it works out pretty nice to like lay down some toilet paper first. And it really doesn't take long for the poop to dehydrate up there. And then you take it out and you dump it wherever you would dump composting toilet or composting waste. Or you could dump it like on that campsite that like kind of has an annoying camper that maybe was playing their music at 1 in the morning. You could just dump it on their campsite. That would work out well too. And yeah, the urine, I might have a little bit more. Well, if I hold it level, it drains out pretty good. There's just, well, hard to see, but I guess about a quarter of a cup left in there. That maybe I can add a little bit more caulk to it in the future too. But I think that will work out fairly well. Yeah, it's not meant. We're not going to use this often. It's just meant for like in the middle of the night, if you, in a pinch, if you need to use the bathroom. So, and not to be used all the time. I guess if you were using it more often, that you would put some sawdust in there or some other biodegradable crap like that. But it eliminates having to use a lot of water in the camper, and it seems like it will be a fairly easy system. I think that's about it for right now before I get ate alive by these mosquitoes.